Hey guys, good evening. I know I'm doing a live pretty late. It is 11:02 right now. I am literally almost done with Sting of the Wild. I still have 3 chapters to get through. Um but I thought I would do something quick cuz I'm kind of tired. I was cleaning my room a little bit and stuff like that. I'm definitely hot and sweaty. Um, but I wanted to do a live and I wanted to ask all of you, which men actually this is something I grew up with as a child throughout my teen years, and I still collect. Actually, I still have my collection to this day. I will say it was definitely it didn't involve this was a really awesome game because like the TV show and the toys for the game came, I feel like, at the same time. Um but like Beyblade, it was the series aired on Cartoon Network. But that is Bakugan. Now, Bakugan were these little creatures in these sphere balls that fell down from the sky and would land on a magnetic card, and it would pop open into it could be something like a dragon, a ginormous robot. um I mean, they were all weird and all unique, so like you could get like different creatures. um but they all so Bakugan were special because a lot of them had different elements. But I still remember the elements back from the old TV show. But Pyrus obviously it's either Latin or it's Spanish for fire. Aquas, Ventus, Chaos, Darkus, and Subterra. But Pyrus was the element of fire, Aquas was the element of water, Ventus was the element of wind, Chaos was the element of light, and Darkus was the element of darkness, and Subterra was the element of earth. Now, I'm going to explain to you all that when Bakugan rebooted this series, so I'll tell you guys this right now. So it came out in 2018. So Bakugan finally made the reboot in 2018, where a new toy line came out from. But the thing is, Spin Master always had the license for Bakugan, even when it first came out. Before they even did the the rebooted series, Spin Master always has owned the license to Bakugan. Um, but unfortunately, due to the rebooting season, of Bakugan in 2018, they took out the Subterra element and replaced it with a. It's not so much an element though. They call it Arliss. Arliss Bakugan, meaning they're basically the yes, the color. I the color is different between, actually kind of not, but Arliss basically is a rarity and not an element. So all the brown Bakugan that have this symbol and that are brownish in color from the rebooted series. So like this is Spearfin, but this is what they're gonna look like as a core. They could have like silver or like this kind of brown, but I will say I definitely didn't like the fact that they took out Subterra. Um, I mean, I think honestly, I feel like honestly that they really didn't plan out, because I feel like Subterra would have been great if they could, because they brought back all the other elements. You know, they brought back Pyrus, Ventus, Aquas, Chaos, and Darkus, but they left out Subterra, which is one of my, actually it was my favorite element in when Bakugan first became a thing. But I'm gonna go through all of my brown Baku. I mean, my Subterra collection. I still consider Arliss Bakugan Subterra, because Arliss it's a rarity. That's all it is. It's nothing special. It is a rarity that these brown Bakugan have. It's not an actual element. But again, right after the Battle Planet um season, between that, Armored Alliance, Geogon Rising, and I think that was it. I think, yeah, they ended on Geogon Rising. That's right. They came out with a whole other. So definitely changing Bakugan, but honestly, Battle Planet was awesome because there was no like, what is it, rip cords or attach. I mean, yes, there was the battle gear, the armor, um, and the nanogon that could like clip onto the Bakugan. So we got a lot of things that we already had already. Another thing was they used a new, so really the definition stayed the same, but back in the day we got, Bakugan that were not just in sphere form, but you could get Bakugan like this that looked like a pyramid, um or something that looks like more cube shaped. But back in the day we called these traps. When Bakugan came out and there was the trap Bakugan, they were referred to as traps. Now, they obviously use, when Geogon Rising came out, they referred to them as Geogon, but it's the same meaning. They're a different shape, but do the same thing a regular Bakugan would do, is fold open. And then you would have these little guys here. These are nanogons, so these are a lot tinier than something like this. But nanogon are cool because there's certain Bakugan you can get that have a little peg on their shoulder, and you can peg in the Nanogon as like the Bakugan's companion. Um, but they don't. So unfortunately, these ones. So Nanogon don't have a magnet. You just fold them with your hands. But I'll show you. So this guy is, I can't remember his name, but he's like a serpent, but he's really cool. Yeah, so, and then his little tail comes out too, so I'll make sure I show that. There we go. But he's kind of, yeah, he's like a snake, like as I said, a serpent, or like a sea monster. And he's a diamond as well. But he's one of the Geogon or Nanogon you get in the really special Genesis collection set. You get this one, and you get Widow, which is a spider. But there's different Nanogon you can get. Oh yeah, there was the metal set too. I can't remember what that was called. Shoot. But it was Bakugan that were like part of their bodies were metal, and like it was really cool. And then if you want to fold this guy back up, make sure so they fold pretty weirdly. So we want to make sure that there we go. And then he folds in just like that. And then of course there was also something called Battle Gear. So Battle Gear back then was actually, I have an original piece of Battle Gear right here. So what you would do is you would clip, so there's two pegs right here. And you would clip it, so we do have a Bakugan here. That would be able to do this. But yeah, as I said, the when the pegs go in, because the Bakugan is gonna have two pegs on the back, the bigger ones, and you clip them on, and this thing will pop open. But this is a cool one. This is a Subterra Battle Gear, piece of Battle Gear. It has like a grappling claw and like a wrecking hammer, and like some like blasters. Um, but yeah, these are really cool. But some of these in here also. So many of you that know, when Bakugan came out, there was the Maximus Dragonoid and Maximus Helios, which you could actually connect, which I will show you right now. So this is one of the Geogon Forge Bakugan, or Geogon I should say, but all of the combination Bakugan have this peg that can pop open, but it makes one giant Bakugan. Um, but this is actually, so this is actually Amp Frog, I believe. Yeah. But yeah. And then we have one. Oh yeah, this is our diamond. What is his name? He's a Minotaur though. So this guy is Bruiser. That's his name. Sabrator, he looks really cool. And there's also Maxitor as well. But this guy in the new series of Bakugan is called Bruiser, and this is his diamond variant. But what we can do to... I'm going to show, as I said, I'm going to show the new characters first, but I'm going to attach something really cool to him. So we've got a couple pieces of battle gear we can attach. We've got those things there. But I'm going to explain of how this actually will work. It is really cool to see these work, actually. But all you have to do is actually kind of want to use... So those are like blades. These are wings. I'm gonna do these ones. But we are gonna open up Mr. Bruiser. But Bruiser should have his magnet. There we go. But there's Bruiser, and I don't... Okay, yep. So yeah, so it's like he's in a charging state, but he's ready to charge at anybody. And now what we can do is we should actually be able to... Hang on, I'm gonna see if... So yeah, actually, I guess the battle gear only goes with the special attack. Damn it, this guy doesn't have a a ripcord hole either. So this is definitely a core bruiser diamond. It's kind of cool. One of my favorites. Okay, so we'll go with some of the Battle Planet Bakugan next. So this is one of my favorites. So this is a core Bakugan that appeared in Geogon Rising, but this is Spearfin. Let's see if I can get a good roll. Ah, shit. Oh, damn it. There we go. But here is Spearfin. So Spearfin comes in many of the different elements available. So Spearfin comes in, I think, I've seen a Pyrus Spearfin, Aquas. As I said, Spearfin is a great Bakugan. He's one of my favorite, and he's really unique for what he is, because when Bakugan came out back in the day, I don't at all remember having some Bakugan as cool. Of course, we got a few returns. Garganoid is back. And Dragonoid, you can't have that show without Dragonoid. But we have, so our other core Bakugan that I think is very interesting. He's little, I feel like you would not want to give this guy a hug. But there's a Bakugan called Fear Ripper, he was like a long-clawed, weird alien dude. This guy is more of like a serpent with the claws of Fear Ripper from the older series. But this is Chimoga. I think he's actually a Japanese design Bakugan. He's not but he's really interesting looking. So yeah, he's got like the serpent, the serpent head, the wings, but like the claws here are just really cool. And that's the thing is, back in the day, if you see a number on your Bakugan, it could have like 100, 200, 300, 400. That is the current power that Bakugan has, meaning that they can still gain bonuses while you play the game, because the game released Baku cores, which basically do the same thing a magnetic card would do. So basically what a gate card would do. So for example, actually this probably won't help. Actually, we do have one here. And I thought we did. Actually, I can't. So if this guy were to roll onto a core, because the B power, basically, they change. Again, this is another term that remains the same, but they just changed it to B power. Back in the day, it was called G power. But it's the same word to define a Bakugan's power of what they currently have before they roll on a card. on a gate card. Or, as I said, if you don't want to do the gate card and do the Baku cores, great. But here is Chomoga. But he's, as I said, he's very unique. He's one of my favorite, like, at least brown Bakugan that I have. I mean, these are kind of Subterra Bakugan. I also, like, consider them always Subterra, even though they took that whole element out from the rebooted season. You know, it doesn't hurt me at all to still state that these are clearly still Subterra. But Spearfin's really cool. I mean, he's a swordfish. And he's got this articulated nose, this sword pointed nose. He's got 800 B power, so if we were to compare, but that's the thing, Bakugan can get bonuses with the Baku cores, meaning that if Chomoga rolled on a Baku core and it was really good, his Baku power would shoot right up. But those two are very cool. Let's see. I'll show you guys some of the I'll show you this trap. I've only got one Subterra trap from the original cartoon. This is a pyramid, but he's like I don't know if he's definitely a walking pyramid, but you see how, like, the pyramid shape is with this guy? It's pretty cool. I would say these pyramid ones are my least favorite trap. This guy is a little bit bruised up. There we go. And the thing is, even trap Bakugan have, like, more than one element. So, like, this guy, his main element is Subterra, but he can also get power if he lands on the element of water, fire, or chaos. But he's a big old pharaoh. He's a pharaoh. And then if you want to put him back in his pyramid form, you just have to interlock these together. And then boom. And the pyramid ones are really easy to close up. And then I'll show you guys. So obviously, same meaning, same definition. I'll show you another trap from the rebooted series. So we've got a really good one here. This is Titan King. So he's in a square, but he looks like a transformer, right? But here, like traps, he actually can generate more than his Arliss power. But here you can see he can. Actually, I don't know. But yeah, this is Titan King. But he looks like a transformer or like something from Minecraft. He's very strong too. There is another cube trap from the original Bakugan series. I can't remember. I do have him. No, I have him in Chaos. Hopefully this. I think he's trapped in. There we go. Sometimes I'm not sure. Yeah, he is. Okay. Titan King, just like he's a really cool one. All right, so next up, I thought we would look at one of the main villains of Violok. Okay, so Violok was actually the main villain for Geogon Rising. That's right. So we got two variants of him. So this is the variant of Violok we got with the Geogon Forge Ultimate Violok, which is one of those big combination. It basically is multiple Bakugan. You get your main, and then you get some Geogon, but you combined them into making Ultimate Violok, which I'll show you guys in a few minutes. And then this is the Violok that came with a really special set that came with a Chaos Leonidas and a Darkest Garithion Ultra. But this is a core Violok. And I'm pretty sure Violok only comes in a core. He's only a core Bakugan. He's a very cool Bakugan. Because, of course, he has his ultimate. But you can see, like, this one I actually like better. Because, like, you can actually see the gold. But I also like this one, the one that came with the Geogon. But they're definitely different. So, actually, this Violok that came in the 3-pack has more silver, and this one has more gold. So honestly, they both look really cool, but I would say this Violok takes the win. But I do like this gold texture color, goldish yellow on this Violok, but it's hard not. But I'm actually pretty sure their G power or their power is the same. It didn't change. Making sure. $600. $300. So yeah, they both have different B powers. So this one's a lot stronger. This Violok here. And we could even use him to. But yeah. But the combiners are really cool. I might show you guys tomorrow because it is getting late. But I am tired. But thank you all for watching and have a great night. And